So we're just waiting for Marcel.
Yeah, I'm here, but something is blocking my video button.
Is it the thumb in front of the camera, or? So Dion, you and Jean, you have a very similar accent, don't you?
Yes. We come from a very similar good part of the globe.
I have to say, though, we support different rugby teams, and where we come from, that defines you. So I support the better of the teams, of course. Otherwise, we'll
be the one that lost the Currie Cup final to the team that I support. But I'm just putting it out there.
Isn't that just wonderful? I mean, from that perspective and from any perspective, it's so fantastic that, you know, when I was looking into the visitors, we had people from Brazil, we had people from Asia, we had people, and we even intended this to be a more or less European kind of session only, and regardless of that, it seems that people from everywhere has. Yeah, and before we get started with the presentation, of course I want to learn a little bit about you two guys first. But I was just wondering, do you think that this topic? I mean, we have also more than 200 people attending here live. I was just wondering, do you think that this topic, Inkjet, is a true game changer in the graphic arts industry?
Yeah, I do think so. Yeah, of course, and I've watched a number of your sessions also with other vendors. I think we all share the same opinion that we are in a good spot right now, but there's a lot of development taking place. So, and obviously everybody's aiming for that graphic arts market because we all understand that is where the massive volume still sits. But of course, there's still a lot of development taking place before you can really start to become capturing those kind of volumes as well, even with that. Yeah.
But if what you say is right, that we have this volume to capture, then I can't help think about, because Kyocera is a well-known company, and you have been also in the professional printing or semi-professional printing space for a long time ago before you sold. I can't remember. Did you sell to HP, or was it Samsung, or was it that was HP that some technology that was sold to 10, 15, 20 years ago, right?
Well, that was before my time, so yeah. I think you were better.
Yeah, okay. But my question was more like that. Now, you as a new supplier in the graphic arts industry, I was just thinking with the TASKalfa Pro 15,000C, I mean, it looks like a fantastic machine. I know that Dion is very keen on talking about it as well, but I can't help think about that it's also a modest place to start. I mean, you didn't start with a VLF machine and 200 colors and 5,000 pages a minute, right?
No, but I think there's a good reason for that, because as you mentioned, we are new to this market. So, and also the customers are looking to us with a kind of a high expectation. So, but in all honesty, as an organization, we have to build this carefully, because we cannot afford to make any mistake in this type of environment, because once we do, it would take a long time to recover from that. So I think a modest entry would also help us to build our teams, build our experience, mostly also on the service side, to make sure that what we put in the field, we can actually service to the customer's expectation.
I didn't know you 2-3 months ago, and I would say that after I got to know both you, Marcel and Dion, I think that you have the right approach to be the supplier in the market for this, because you have extensive background in the industry, you have a lot of knowledge in your product, and I think it's also, and Jean and I know this is also the passion for the product, right? If you are in the industry and you don't love print and you don't love technology, you shouldn't be here.
Correct. No, that becomes a very difficult task to manage every day. Yeah.
Well, I think Dion has got passion, though, because I think I've employed him 2 or 3 times as I've moved along. I've gone and headhunted him and stolen him, because he's got the passion. And
so watch out, Marcel.
No, I did the same. I from South Africa, so
fantastic.
We love what we do, and it's ours. There's ink in the veins, so it helps a lot.
Yeah. Before we get started with your presentation, Dion, tell us a little bit about your background, and then we hear the same from Marcel in a moment.
So yeah, just in a nutshell, I think I've been in the printing industry since early in the 90s when I basically became a a hands-on photolithographer. So being in the printing industry from the very early days. Joined Heidelberg very early on in my career, is where I met Gene for the first time. So I've really been with the commercial side of things. Joined Kodak shortly after that. Basically moved to New York, so I was with Kodak there for a number of years, working on R&D, working on Nextpress. So it was really seeing all the developments come along, and the journey back to South Africa again working for Gene back with Kodak. So had a nice journey with HP as well. So I got to experience the Indigo side of things as well. Then quite some time back with Kodak again, with Ricoh for some time, and now back basically over here. At what I must say, the nice thing with the journey over here was the fact that we could really start from the ground up and really build this team. And build into this industry where it's something new for us, for Kyocera, but the fact that we could start it from the right base is really what made it a good decision for me to do it this way. And we've got the right team. I think we've got a very, very good product, and we've got a solid base to build from. So that's why I'm really.
Before you move on,
sorry.
I need to tell you a secret about Dion. Oh. So do you know that he's got an identical twin brother, and they're both married to identical twin sisters? That's just putting it out there.
But only one of them is a fiery specialist, so I only did one. Yeah.
Marcel, tell us about you.
Okay, well, I have a kind of similar history as Dion. I also started in the 90s. First 22 years, I was busy in graphic arts, so selling print, not machines, in various roles. And the last graphic arts role I had was as a commercial director, where we also purchased a digital printing company that sat inside our building. And then it was basically the first time I got in touch with the whole digital development. And specifically also they had a web-to-print solution going on. So that gave me quite a different perspective on how digital could add value more to the page compared to static offset. So I was kind of triggered to move further in that direction. That's when I moved to Canon, Netherlands, where I was doing direct sales for production print. At the time when they just launched the image presses. But after 2 years, I got a nice opportunity with Ricoh to move into an international territory, taking care of international sales and marketing for Ricoh International on a production printing level. Also at the time where they merged with Infoprint. So then I got in touch with the continuous feeds, with all the related softwares that came from Infoprint, and also the further development that Ricoh did in that field. And then, similar as Dion 3 years ago, was approached by Kyocera and also discovered that they were moving with this whole new platform, where I thought, okay, that would be a brilliant opportunity, as Dion mentioned, to build something from the ground up. So, of course, it's a lot of work, but it also has the nicest challenge, I think, that you can have. So That's where we came here. And now we are here talking to you as doing some contribution on the learning and development of Inkjet in general.
Which is wonderful, and I think it's about time to dig into the presentation. I have uploaded it now.
People all waiting for you, so yes.
I have uploaded your slides, so you should be able. So Gene and I, we will disappear, but be here virtually. No, we will turn off our camera and microphone, but we will listen to your conversation, and then we hopefully have a good Q&A session afterwards.
Okay, before you go, I can't see the slides yet, so if I look at slides, there you are.
There we go.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah. So it's nice, and we have, as mentioned, watched already a couple of sessions, and I really like the whole interactive parts between Morten and Gene and ourselves, but we also want to utilize this platform to at least introduce ourselves properly. As mentioned, we are a new player to this market, so there's a few basic information that we would at least like to share from the audience. So a presentation, a bit of a high-level presentation to just do the introduction on our new platform, and then also move to a bit more video footage to further explain how the technology works, and specifically on which type of applications we are focusing. Yeah, good slide to start with. Obviously, our past secures our future, and I'm sure that many of you know that Kyocera has been active in the inkjet development for a large number of years. So all that technology is now transferred into our own first inkjet platform. So it doesn't mean we don't have any experience. It just means that this is the first time we are going directly to the market with our own machine. So, and what it is mainly focused on, as mentioned, it's proven inkjet expertise that we have built into this platform. And as you can expect from an inkjet platform, the core technology is fast, it's durable, it doesn't have a lot of moving parts, and so it's quite reliable and robust. Mainly focusing at this point at transactional, promotional applications connected to variable data applications. So that means we, with the current setup, are not able to print on offset coated stock so much. We do have a large range of media that we can print on, but we are mostly focusing on this type of applications, which we think is the right type of audience, the right type of coverage, and the right type of media substrates that are applicable and compatible with this platform. If that is the case, if we are in the right environment and with the right customer application, that is where we can really hit that return on investment, that great TCO that is the promise of inkjet. So we are going to the market with this platform in some 5 basic configurations. So it's predefined. It doesn't mean that we cannot give a different setup, but we connected this to the market environments where we see we are most fitted. So we start with a basic working solution, which is the mainframe, the decoder dry unit, and a finisher. Then we can go up to a large capacity vacuum feeder. We have what we call a print solution, print service provider solution, which has a 5,000 sheets stacker. Then we can add a finisher, and then we can have the full size configuration with double feeders, double stackers, and a finisher on top. Most of these we recommend to drive with a Fiery system for now, because that also enables a large scale of color management and advanced workflows, which we think is quite important in this specific environment, and also to provide a better media and also cost control for our customers. So the main focus again is on transactional. For us, it's mainly focused on applications. So we do not disqualify a certain type of industry. Obviously, in the graphic arts market, where you would find a higher coverage and a bigger need for offset coated substrates, it would not be our first usual suspect. But it doesn't mean we can't find any application with a graphic arts printer that wouldn't suit our platform. So transactional applications which we would mostly find in corporate environments, so also more connected to standard reporting kind of applications. Obviously, the finance, government-related education, we can create nice books, nice coloring books. So these type of applications would be most suitable for this introduction platform. Designed to meet high volume printing needs. Of course, what's important to mention is not just the maximum volume per month, which is about 1 million A4 pages, but especially the lower entry point. We had some conversations in previous sessions where people were talking about what is the main topic that the inkjet should address, and getting it available for all markets. So, and the biggest barrier is also that the minimum volume that most of the inkjet platforms require, regardless if it's continuous feed or sheet fed, is that they need a big entry volume up to 700,000 or close to 1 million a month for customers to create that TCO advantage, where we say we want to make it available for a bigger audience. So we lower that point up to 100,000 a month, where you could already enjoy that TCO advantage, which we are aiming for. We have our unique Kyocera PrintHack technology. As mentioned, this is developed by Kyocera itself. It's proven in the market, so we can add, which is quite important. But also important is that we are in control of our own ink development. So the ink and the heads are Kyocera developments, and we are in control of that. Special advantage of this system is the high color consistency. So what we see when we run a job, it doesn't matter if you take out print 1 or print 1000, the color is exactly the same. If the media doesn't change, then the color consistency doesn't change. It's a direct, of course, transferable technology. So the ink sprays directly onto the paper and then moves out. So there's no any variance in that. And that is what customers are appreciating quite a lot. Secure and predictable workflow. Through the Fiery so far, we can do a lot of advanced color management. So not just meaning about matching the colors to the customer examples, but also looking for the boundaries both upwards and downwards. So especially for customers that want to have an ink out contract, so they buy the ink separately and purely pay the maintenance fees, they would like to be more in control about their cost. So that means sometimes we also profile to the lower side of the ink usage. So we can prove a best quality output. We can also provide a minimum quality output, and then we can show the cost advantage to the customer and see what is acceptable for them to bring to their markets. So that comes with an ink estimator on both the Fiery, but also on the platform itself. We can run reports showing you exactly how much ink was consumed for that specific job. So you have a good cost control, which I think, especially for the print service providers, is a very important key asset. Also, we are quite capable of integrating with IPDS. We have a third-party solution that we can install, which then can handle IPDS transforms and run that as a PDF output through our machine. So we have already got a few installations in the field that are running that type of application without any problem. Again, especially when you're trying to target the banks, the finance and insurance companies, IPDS data coming from the mainframes is the criteria that we need to be able to match, and we are capable of handling that. Fast print output, that's of course another advantage of Inkjet, the speed. Although we are still at 150 ppm, and we know there are faster platforms in that market, but they are a bit different positioned, a bit higher up. We think that the speed currently is quite sufficient for our customers' requirements, also connected to the maximum output volume that we can handle over a monthly basis. When we see our customers hitting that maximum volume, they would rather go for a second platform instead of increasing the speed of the existing one. It's quite quick with a stand-up, so only a 60-second warm-up time, but also just the 5 seconds for the first print out. And important also for Inkjet is there's no speed reduction on heavy media stock. We have created a short video that we'll show later on, where we'll show you exactly what is the rated speed, and that you can see for yourself that regardless of the grammage, it can go up from 52 GSM all the way up to 360, but the speed can be maintained at the same level. So no productivity loss. Long life technology, which is important for Kyocera, and we use that not just for this Inkjet platform, but through all our office MFPs as well, all our printers that are famous for the low maintenance, the durability of the items, and the same goes for our inkhead life. We have predicted that the inkhead basically should not have to be replaced during the lifetime of the machine, but we have put even a special warranty in place where we will guarantee when something does happen with a printhead that we will replace it. We use the piezo head inkhead technology, so we use variable drop size on each and every pixel of the page. Unique, it's 600 by 600 dpi. What's important for us to understand is that we have many times some discussions with customer, especially when they want to compare it to a toner-based device, where you're getting into the discussion of 2400 or 4800 dpi's, and they relate that back to quality. Where we say is that 600 by 600 dpi in terms of sharpness of an image is all you need. So the sharpness of an image has no negative effect on the fact that it's only 600 by 600. What affects the appearance of the quality is more the fact that the ink sinks into the fiber. So the color brightness is something that is affected, but that has nothing to do with the DPIs. That has to do with the media handling. But especially when you want to compare it to toner devices, we would also ask you to look at the stability of especially on the fonts. When you're printing, for instance, a clear 20% or 50% gray font on the back, the stability of that font image is quite remarkable. I think that is quite outstanding, especially also when you want to compare that to toner-based devices. Low environmental impact, so that means obviously we also have all got the compliancy trademarks that certify us for being very consumative for electricity usage. But also from a financial point, it's very interesting to compare us to, if you want, against a toner device, where you would see the energy consumption is quite remarkably low, and that also has a cost effect in your TCO. So we don't require any high voltages. We can use standard 220 volt plugs. We don't need any exhausting pipes, so the temperature that we use for the hot air is only going up to 58 degrees. So that means it doesn't have any impact on your premises. You don't need to adjust anything with regards to cooling down the system or making sure the fumes are getting out of the building. And that's another thing that contributes to the lower footprint. So eco-friendly advantages, as I mentioned, low power consumption, small footprint. I think the most frequently heard comment when we have people here coming into our showroom is that they are surprised and really curious about how we managed to get a dry page out of the platform with such a little drying unit. Compared to other platforms, we only use a bit of hot air fans. We don't use any high voltages lighting or forced drying. And again, you could see, and also later on we'll see with the small movies, that the page that comes out of the machine is dry in an instant and is ready for finishing with any third-party equipment. So, and still with a relative small footprint. Another advantage of Inkjet is, of course, the fewer replacement parts. There are only a few what we call pre-maintenance parts in the system that can basically be replaced by an advanced operator, so what we call a pro user. With some advanced training, they can be self-sufficient in removing those parts that have a variable lifetime. So it means there's no technician needed to go on site to just create a normal high uptime for the machine. Only every 6 million printouts there needs to be an inspection of the device. And otherwise, in between, there's just a standard 5 items replacement. So to summarize, what we launched in this market is a super fast inkjet production print platform, which we say is developed for all business needs. So as mentioned, we are really trying to make this available for printers that don't run 2 or 3 million on a monthly basis, but still want to enjoy all the benefits from inkjet platform. So cost saving, data security for transactional printing, fast production and professional print quality. We have got very positive feedback on the quality output that we have been able to achieve, especially again with regards to the smaller footprint. An attractive monthly volume entry point. Also interesting to redirect your short runs if you're a continuous feed system user and you don't want to put an additional continuous feed platform in place just to serve as a backup system. We have placed machines in this typical environment where our customers using this to redirect their short runs, but also can utilize this as a backup system for when machines go down. And again, what is important for our customers is the easy maintenance and the high uptime, which I think, well, of course, in any professional environment is the most relevant factor, and the predictability of your platform and the performance of your platform that in the end of the day is bringing your cost savings. So that's it for the first slides. Don't know if you want to have any comments on that, Morten, to join the discussion.
We've got a lot of questions coming through, I can tell you that. You've shocked a few people. There's a lot of questions coming through.
Okay. Do you want to pick some in between, or do you want us to move on?
And Marcel, I just want to let you know one thing. You don't know me very well if you believe that I will keep quiet at any point.
Okay.
Well, I think the key one was what you were saying about the printheads lasting the lifetime of the machine. Everybody is going, did I hear correctly? So do you want to reiterate that point a bit more? And people are going, is it guaranteed for 60 million or is it A4 impressions? Can we just clarify that?
Yeah, what we put into the market is that the machine, the heads are built to last 60 million. So 60 million A4s. So of course, that's the lifetime of the machine. So in our warranty, we put an additional warranty in place for Europe. So the machine heads already come with 1 year basic warranty, and they can be extended with 4 additional years. So basically, you can cover your contract period. Of course, there are some disclaimers that when you abuse it or you don't use genuine inks and those kind of things, that would have a negative impact. But we don't expect the ink heads to break over that 60 million or 5 years period.
So does the press come with a spare set of heads that they're changing over, or no? No.
We have, of course, depending on the country, but we are expecting our sales company or our dealers to have a spare ink head in place. So when it does occur occasionally, that they are able to remove it, but that is not a end customer task. That is a certified technician that has to do that.
And obviously, when it comes to like the service contract side of things, are you pushing customers or printers to maintain a big part of the service themselves, or is the service part of the offering where you got a service contract with I know you got a service contract, but what I'm saying, are there parts that you can change yourself, or certain things you can do yourself as the operator?
Yes.
It is also quite similar to what you would find in a toner-based environment, where you also have these packages, there's these service packs where you can replace certain items, but here it covers most of it. There's not a lot of moving parts in the machine. So it's the very easy removable parts, like a waste ink container or a cleaning liquid container, that you could just release and remove and replace that with a new or empty one or a full one. So these are relatively easy tasks for a trained operator to do.
Great.
Wonderful presentation. I think that you should move on, and then we take a follow-up Q&A in the end, because you have still some things, and we haven't heard from Dion at all, and that's also very uncommon. So
very uncommon.
So please continue, gentlemen.
Okay. Well, I think obviously we'll give the word to Dion, but what we have done is to create a video that just gives you a basic introduction on the platform. So we'll just like to show you a run through over the machine as an introduction, and later on we'll have some more dedicated short movies that will explain more on an application basis on what the machine can do. So I think instead of trying to explain everything, I think it's more self-explaining when we show it through videos. So, Dion, you can start the first one.
Great. I'm just going to put on my demonstration outfit quickly, and then I'll start the video.
Good day, everybody, and welcome to this first day of our webinar with our TASKalfa Pro 15000C, which is the product that we'll be demonstrating to you today. This is Kyocera's first entry into the production print market, as you would have seen a lot of publications and so on this device already. So I'd love to take you through this machine today, show you a couple of the key benefits and the unique selling points of this device, and really encourage you to come and see us here at our European Experience Center, where we can do tailor-made demonstrations for you on this machine and really spend some hands-on time with you to really experience what this machine is all about. So as we've mentioned, Kyocera TASKalfa Pro 15000C is our first entry into the production print market. This is 100% Kyocera technology and, wait for this, Inkjet cut sheet technology. So this is not a toner-based machine. This is a 150 page per minute cut sheet inkjet production device. So I'll take you through a couple of the key features on the machine quickly. So as you can see, this is not our full configuration that we have here. We can still go larger than this configuration here. But for the purposes that we need here in the showroom, this will basically be able to demonstrate all of the features that we have with this machine, all of the options that we have, and really give you a feel for what the machine can and can't do. So as you see, starting off on the front side here, immediately with our in-paper input devices. So one of the key features, vacuum-fed paper supplies that we have on the machine, 2 large capacity trays, up to 2,500 sheets of paper per tray. And again, like I said, vacuum-fed technology. So no friction feed on these trays, and a wide variety of media handling from 56 all the way up to 360 gram paper. That's printed in duplex through this device. And another upsell, no speed loss on this machine. So regardless of paper weight, we handle the speed on all sheets of paper, all grammages, all grades, exactly at full speed. One of the key things as well is we have a multi-purpose tray fitted on this machine. So apart from just being an additional tray that we have on the machine, we can also run banners on this machine. Banners up to 330 by 1.2 meters through the machine. So again, another quite a nice upsell on the machine. So just getting into the core technology of the machine, of course, like we said, Kyocera owned technology, Kyocera print heads into this machine, and with it being inkjet, just a quick view for you on the machine. Very little moving components on this machine. So again, a very, very unique upsell that we have on the machine. As far as operator maintenance goes on this machine, very, very easy for the operators. All that they have to do is replace ink cartridges, replace the cleaning liquid, and remove the waste ink tank. Apart for that, very, very hands-on. Operators handle this machine quite successfully. The machine has a duty cycle running of about 1 hour, so 9,000 sheets of printing. The machine will do a cleaning cycle, and you're back in production within 30 seconds. So really, really top-notch production that you get from this machine. So then just moving further down, what you see here is our drying technology for this machine. And yes, wait for it, purely air drying. It's water-based ink that the machine prints with, and only an air drying mechanism that we feature on the machine. So one of the other key upsells on this machine is an extremely low energy consumption. Please ask us for more details around that, and we'll give you some very good calculations on exactly what or how low the energy consumption on this device actually is. So just one of the key things that we've integrated in this is what we call a dual paper path for drying technology. So we literally split the sheets coming through the print engine, we dry them in tandem, and then we recombine them on the output side to truly give you 150 pages a minute output, but all sheets having been dried on both sides. Then just moving further down, so this is one of the optional finishing devices that we have on the machine. High cap or large capacity stacker, as we call it, with a removable cart, stack up to 5,000 sheets of 80 gram. In that stacker, offset sheet technology, so we can run multiple jobs with an offset between the jobs, all automated from the front end. Then right at the end here, we have our production finisher. So again, stacking capability at the back of the finisher, a booklet making attachment on the finisher, hole punching integrated, stapling integrated with up to 4 staple positions. All that integrated into the production finisher. Then one of the key things on the machine, of course, is an integrated, or not an integrated, but a dedicated fiery controller that we have on this machine. This is the Gryffindor FS300 controller, developed for us by EFI. So truly, truly powerful in what we can do, and really come and experience what we have as far as the software goes that goes on this fiery, but a very, very powerful package, really nicely integrated, and really is able to keep the machine running at full rated speed. Of course, with all the added variable data packages, personalization, everything else that comes on the fiery, we really have the ability to make this machine a very, very good fit in the transactional, transformational market where this machine goes in. So just to give you a quick idea, this is inkjet printed. As you can see, we'll show you the machine running in a couple of minutes. So that is basically what the machine is looking for. And then if we do go for something with a bit more higher coverage, just to give you an idea of what we are capable of, we have developed an integrated media guide for this device. So please come and ask us, come and see us about that. We have a media guide with just over 40 papers that we have set up, profiled, and approved to run on this machine for the European market. So please come and see us, ask us about this, and we can definitely take you through the guide and show you what we have got available to run on this device. So just as a last outtake, what we just want to give you an idea of this machine in full production. So it's an A4 job that we're just going to be sending down, running throughout the entire machine, printed one side. And you'll get an idea of, when we say 150 pages per minute inkjet technology, exactly what this machine is capable of producing. So feeding from the vacuum feed paper tray, we're going to be running this right through the machine, and then you'll see your output collating on the back. And there you have it, 300 pages printed straight through the machine. Output is 100% dry, 100% straight. And as you can feel, the output is cold. As we've mentioned before, inkjet technology, zero heat being used to dry the ink sheets. That is 100% ready to go straight to finishing. So I really want to thank you so much for your time today. And really, I want to invite you, please make an appointment, come and see us at the Experience Center. Really come and experience this device with us, and let us take you through a complete journey of what we can achieve with production print and what we can do for your business. Time today. Thank you very much. And really, I want to invite you, please make an appointment, come and see us at the Experience Center. Really come and...
Impressive. Impressive.
So, can it print in color?
Only on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Okay, I knew there was a catch to it.
So on that color, you mentioned, Marcel, that obviously it doesn't slow down with media stocks. So even if it's a full color job, though, it doesn't slow down for that either.
No.
Wow. Wow.
Well, before I have questions, and Dean probably as well, I think that because we have so many people here, let's try to dig into some of the questions. Otherwise, we can't get to any of them. I can't remember all of them, but one of them was like, when you say quality, does it compare to Xerox quality or to Canon inkjet quality? That was the words.
That's quite a range of products that we are comparing against there. So I'd like to be a bit more specific. If you, for instance, mention Xerox, obviously you know the Brenva that is no longer available. The Brenva already had Kyocera technology inside as well. And I would dare to say that we pushed out a better quality than that.
But I think that, to be honest, I think that when people are looking at this machine and trying to understand it, I think that maybe it's also whether it's Xerox toner-based technology where you have the nice surfaces, for, the
shiny
image. To the Canon inkjet that may have some of the similar qualities to yours. I mean, so can you elaborate? Because I mean, it's always difficult on a video to see the quality. From my perspective, it looked that it was a little bit more dull in its color, that it was not as vibrant. Is that true, or?
Correct. With the inkjet technology, like we say, because of the ink going into the fiber of the paper, that is, of course, the characteristic that we see. And so we definitely don't have that shiny effect. But then again, if you print on a inkjet optimized media, like a new jet silk or so on, for instance, from Mondi, then you do get a much more vibrant print. And within that media guide, then people can definitely see the difference on printing on the different types of media and what you can achieve with that.
Yeah.
So
and
obviously, sorry, no, carry on, Morten, finish your question.
Yeah, just that, because in that perspective, Bill and Northworthy is asking, please advise the media types that can be commented. Can it make use of heavy media and coated stocks?
So up to 360, like we say, we can print up to 360 GSM media on the device, 300 gram in duplex if needed. But then when we talk coated medias, of course, we can't print on offset coated stocks. So offset coated stocks have got that layer that seals off the media, so we cannot have the ink pigment penetrate the paper. But then when we talk inkjet treated stocks, so for instance the Mondi range of stocks, the CVG range of stocks, so there's a multitude of stocks on the market that is suitable for inkjet printing, and with those stocks, not a problem.
And that,
do you have a coating? Carry on. Sorry.
Yeah, last question. I know. So the last question for me in this round is. I think that's important, because I think that the from a technology perspective, impressive. From what you just said about papers, what should be expected to some extent. So let's be. What kind of applications should we look at if we buy this one?
So, Marcel, you want to handle this one?
Yeah, no, that's fine. What I mentioned in the presentation already, there's no real limit to what we can handle in terms of coverage. We can print quite a heavy coverage media or files as well. It's not the typical application, because there you would find customers needing the glossy shine, the offset coated stock as mentioned. So it's not printing a catalog or a nice car brochure or that kind of thing. It's most beneficial in the transactional, transpromotional, direct mail type of application. So, and within that range, with regards to the media, again, we can print on a various range of media. It doesn't need to be inkjet treated. Of course, inkjet treated gives us a better vibrancy, because it's better treated to reflect the pigment better. But we don't have a technical issue with printing on any other kind of substrate, except for the ones that are closed off, as Dion mentioned. So, and then basically, if you compare it to offset. Also, in offset, the media determines 50% of the quality reflection. So, and that is quite similar in inkjet. So, when you have good media, you have a good output. And in toner, the toner stays on top of the page. So, you will always look at the toner and not at the media.
So just to finish, sorry, I said that I finished that, but now I will finish it. So just to put it, spot on. This is not replacing your toner-based machines that you use for covers and for postcards and for these kind of products. This is a product that can actually lives very fine with book printing, transactional things that doesn't need to have that flat, glossy, silky kind of surface, right?
Yeah.
Correct. This really complements an existing, and there's a lot of work that currently on toner-based machines can easily be moved on to this, because of the cost of print with inkjet becoming a lot more affordable. So it makes a lot more sense to shift a lot of that volume from where it's not really needed on toner and shift it onto a device like this.
Perfect.
So are there plans to have a coating unit, or do you not see the need as such? Or is that something later, or as it is, that's the market, that's what you're focusing on? Is that what we're looking at?
I do think with the current platform, I would say there would be some room for maybe some improvement within the inks, to change the specifications a bit, to improve it, to make it a bit more vibrant. But when you're referring to the real offset coated stock capability, no, that will be something different.
Yeah.
There was also another question in this long line of chat messages here, and one of them was I can't remember from who, but probably you can't reveal anything, but if we look at some of your competitors, they have moved from roll to sheet. Are you having any plans of moving from sheet to rolls?
Well, in general terms, I can comment like this is our first platform, and obviously we want to build a portfolio, and there is a roadmap because, as mentioned, we are also for our partners, we are offering something for the future as well. Which would come first? Yeah, that depends on also how quickly the markets will evolve and how the trends will look. We have a short-term, of course, short-term, mid-term strategy, and yeah. That's all I can say.
I'm just smiling because somebody's asking, will they share their roadmap? I don't think.
No, we won't. No.
Why not? Why not?
No. I think the most obvious thing you can see already in the development with our competitors, and you would see us developing in that direction first as well. But if you look at where we are active with regards to the printheads, when you look at our OEM applications, obviously that for us is a direction where we are focusing on as well. And everybody knows if you look at the packaging, the labeling direction, obviously these are all typical inkjet applications where you would find your market, and that's the biggest growing market. So yeah, it would not be a crazy idea to develop in that direction.
But also in that perspective, I think that if you look at if you look at the entire marketplace right now, I think that maybe also Kyocera has. I mean, you have been a supplier of printheads for a long time, and I'm just wondering now you move from being a supplier to becoming a competitor for some at least, right? Is that something that will that play a role also in your roadmap? You think?
I think from how we are positioning at the moment, we are not really positioning as a like for like. So. We are still not in an apple-to-apple comparison at this moment. So I think that we will continue to look at these, blue water areas, so to speak, to position our machines, and what competition is doing in response to that. That's up to them, but we are not looking for a head-to-head confrontation on the exact same specifications.
Yeah, and obviously. I don't want you to give your secrets away, but what has the uptake and the interest been on the market so far? I know you've been looking for loads of salespeople, and I've been, referring people, just phone Kyocera.
Yeah.
Kyocera. So, I mean, you guys have been hiring so just kind of give us worldwide, where are we?
Now, well, worldwide, in general, what I mentioned in the beginning, this is a strategic direction for Kyocera. So this is a real expansion and growth area. That's hence why we start at zero. So obviously, there's a lot of investment going on, a lot of development going on. Worldwide, well, Europe, our region, was one of the first to start in November 2019. And so we have quite a nice number of installations in the EMEA region so far. Worldwide also, I think we are close to about 50 or 60 platforms at the moment.
Great.
It could have been, of course, much higher when the COVID situation didn't happen, and that is, of course, putting a bit of a slowdown on the development. But it doesn't mean that we don't see a growth in the number of sales cycles and number of opportunities too. So we do expect to accelerate sales once the situation clears.
Bill Nothworthy has another question. He's asking, are you willing to reveal the estimated CPP, and will your business model include inks?
Well, CPP, obviously, we are European headquarters, so the CPP is something that we discuss together with our sales companies and their dealers. So I do not determine the price, a market price for a dealer, so I cannot say anything about that. And for the rest, we do our recommendations. So we give them a clear structure on how they should look at the maintenance cost. And also we give them an advice on how to look at different service models. If a dealer in the end decides that he doesn't want to offer an ink out contract, that's not up to us. We just give our recommendations and give them the advantages of offering that type of flexibility. But in the end, it's their decision to make because they are servicing.
Sounds reasonable. And Jean, do you have any questions right now?
Oh, no, I mean, so much was answered because, guys, great presentation. I think you covered so many things, and a lot of questions that have been asked, I guess, have been answered by people that are in this business or your dealers or somebody answering a lot of these. So, I mean, I think for now, it's anything else, guys?
Well, yeah, we did have a nice rack up of videos that we still want to keep in, depending on how the discussions went. And that's where we mentioned we focus a bit on typical strengths of the platform. We made one recording showing mixed media, which is always a challenging question from the customer, saying how does it handle mixed media. So we recorded one video that shows you one job combining 6 trays of media in one output. So that might be nice to review.
Or
we didn't have the sound, so we can continue the discussion while it runs in the background.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yep, I'll cue the video. Yeah, there's no audio in the video, so like myself says, we can definitely have a discussion while it's playing in the background.
Perfect.
And then everybody kept quiet. No, of course, it's just
Dion, can you comment on? It's a very quiet machine, isn't it?
It is a very, very quiet machine at the moment. So yeah, as we've mentioned in this, so this is just a key application that we've been showing. This customer actually is running a pre-programmed PostScript workflow that they set up as a security front end. So this is basically just showing all 6 paper trays, and of course each cassette loaded with different colored media, so we can really illustrate the output coming out, and it truly running from all 6 paper trays. In fact, this was configured for an 8-tray job, so if we had the additional 2 trays installed, we could literally run from 8 paper trays at the same time. But this was just focusing and showing it running from the 6 different trays with 6 different colored medias installed. Mm-hmm. And we'll start it up now. So of course, the thing with mixed media is you do get a slowdown in your performance, because the machine does have to pick and make sure all the media comes through at exactly the right interval from the right trays. But that should
what kind of slowdown, Dion? What sort of 20%, 15%?
Probably about a 20% slowdown if you're running in this kind of a configuration where we only have 2 vacuum feed trays. If you're running with 4 vacuum feed trays, then you'd probably only have I'd say maybe about an 8 to a 10% slowdown. Okay. Because from the vacuum fed trays, the paper part is a lot straighter, getting the sheet in underneath the print head. So the slowdown is not that significant.
Yeah. And no fancy air-conditioned rooms needed, hey?
No, correct. The machine, as it stands there, like we say, it's in a straightforward in our experience center here. This is a 20-degree environment in here at the moment, about a 30% humidity. So yeah, there's no specifics required for placing this device.
So not even, I mean, a floor, a factory floor at a print shop, no issue sticking.
No, if the floor, as long as the floor is straight. Obviously, on this one here, we're showing the machine with what we call a floor plate underneath it. So we have a floor plate under there just to ensure that it stays nice and straight. But if the floor is of an industrial kind of application on a carpet or so on, I might suggest that we put the plates down. But in general, I think very few of our installations have utilized the floor plates.
I think it's about time to stop. And Marcel, you have an option. Should we make a 40 seconds teaser for Kyocera, or should we show the interview I did with you last week?
I think the interview looked quite nice. Yeah, I really like that one.
Well, thank you very much, gentlemen. I am sure that we will talk again at some point. I look forward to that. And I thank you very much for your support to this event. I think it was a very valuable contribution to the Inkjet debate. So thank you, and talk to you soon.
Yeah,
great.
Thank you for everybody joining.
Stay safe.
Well, I think from a positioning point of view, obviously, I think there's a big gap between the roll-fed systems and the low-entry inkjet devices. So obviously, the market is there for the toner machines, but also from my experience working with the continuous feed systems in EMEA area, you don't see so many opportunities or customers that have that amount of volume. So the entry point from continuous feed is quite high. So even with the current cut sheet competitors that we do have, also their point of entry in regards to monthly volume is quite high. So I think where we are based, our entry point starts somewhere around 100,000 A4s a month. And I think we would find much more opportunities. But also, what is particularly interesting is that for customers who are interested to moving to Inkjet, they don't need to step up to such a high entry level. They can start, have all the benefits from Inkjet technology, but then at a much lower monthly volume and start building it from there. Well, for a point, because I don't think with the current platform we are really aiming for the toner market as such, but I think that there were a lot of customers that moved to toner because there was no alternative in Inkjet. So I think what we see also in our current installations, that many times we are replacing toner machines that are not really printing particular toner applications. So customers that have a machine as a backup or small job volume runs compared to a continuous feed device are not specifically looking for that toner color vibrancy or that media flexibility, but at that point there was no real alternative to have a cut sheet machine as a backup system. So, and now there is. Yeah, correct. Of course, in terms of technology, it's 100% different. The whole platform as it is, I think everybody knows the benefits of Inkjet, the reliability of the systems, the few moving parts that are inside the machine. It's basically a quite simple core technology. The substrate moves under the heads spray ink and it moves out. So the uptime of the machine is quite high, and also the maintenance, of course, and that's the main advantage, is quite low. So color consistency, all these kind of advantages that Inkjet offers, that is what we offer in a small footprint platform. Yes, we have solved that. Well, for us, it was never an issue from the beginning, but obviously because the technology was there, and as you mentioned, we have been building the experience through OEM also quite a lot. But this is actually, obviously, the ink head technology is from Kyocera, but also the inks are developed by Kyocera. So we moved from the launch, we went with version 1 ink. We are now at version 2 ink, where we even improved the color vibrancy and the drying behavior. So so far we are getting really, really nice results from this machine. The reception has been, and of course I'm preaching for Kyocera, so forgive me if it sounds a bit colored, but the customers are really more positive than I was hoping for. So we knew that they were probably a bit hesitant because Kyocera is a new brand, and it's of course you're entering the core processes of your customer, so they would be quite careful to step into a new technology and even a new brand name that still has to prove in this market that they can service and support everything direct. But they have been really enthusiastic and gives a lot of good feedback about what else are they trying, what additional volume they've been able to shift to our platform, which we initially didn't calculate for. So also on the average monthly volumes, it's higher than we expected. So because the customers come in with a certain expectation and they consider also maybe 200,000, 300,000 we can reallocate to the Inkjet. But once the machine is in and they start to learn about the machine and how they can tweak the applications, we see they are shifting more and more volumes from offset towards our Inkjet platform. At the moment, we are mostly selling it to print service providers who are replacing, in the majority of the occasions, replacing their existing toner-based machines. So either it can be a combination between a color machine and a mono machine, that they shift everything into one Inkjet platform. But we also have customers where we are putting it in complementary to their continuous feed systems, for instance. The feedback has been really, really positive. It's one of the reasons why customers are able to shift more volumes onto the platform is because many of the customers are asking us for an ink out contract, which is something we can offer. We have good analysis tools on both on the Fiery but also inside of the machine that can give you a clear cost estimation and ink usage estimation up front. And the majority of our customers are printing the applications that we are aiming for. So the transactional, trans-promotional applications that on average coverage are lower than you would normally print on a toner-based device. So by giving them the liberty to purchase the ink separately, they are more in control of their own costs. So making it also for them to be more competitive in their own markets.